What's up YouTube, this is Appleboy and today I'd like to talk about a knife that's pretty interesting for price-conscious steel enthusiasts. This here is the Müller MSP Linerlock with an S90V blade and an obviously blue G10 handle. There's also an orange and black G10 handle version available, as well as several different wood materials for the handle scales. Müller is a German custom knife maker who also distributes some production knives under his name brand. These are manufactured in Italy. I'm not sure how popular his knives are outside of Germany. So far I only found 2 non-German videos on YouTube featuring a Müller knife. But the general opinion on this knife was quite positive, especially the price considering the high quality materials. What also makes it interesting for German customers is the fact that it is a two-hand opening knife, so you can legally carry it in public. By the way, if you are interested in purchasing this knife, this can only be done through Reinhard Müller's online store. Unfortunately, it is only in German, but feel free to send Mr. Müller an email. He does speak English and ships worldwide. But now let's turn to the knife and check the specs real quick. The blade length is 85 millimeters. The handle length is 115 millimeters, which results in an overall length of 200 millimeters. Blade thickness is 3.7 millimeters and the weight is 140 grams. The first thing I noticed was that this is a very beefy knife. The handle is pretty thick, as are the steel liners, which are not milled out, by the way. The G10 offers very good traction, comparable to the American-made Spyderco knives like the Paramilitary 2 or the Manix 2. The pocket clip can only be mounted on the right hand side and in tip down carry position. However, you can order this knife from Mr. Müller with the clip mounted in the left hand tip down carry position. You have to mention this in your order. The knife is screwed together with Torx screws and is an open construction, good for easy maintenance. The locking mechanism is, as the name suggests, a liner lock, which works fine. There is some jimping on the liner, which helps disengaging the lock, as the liner is pretty thick and thus hard to push over. As I mentioned before, the blade is made of the high-end CPM S90V steel, which offers superior corrosion resistance and edge retention. This of course makes the knife quite difficult to sharpen. The blade is flat ground with a satin finish and has some very aggressive jimping on the spine. For hard work, I recommend wearing gloves or change the grip to a more backwards position. The blade has no nail nick, but rather these 3 grooves on each side, which are filled with some rough material for extra traction. With some practice, you might even be able to open the blade one-handed. But of course there's always a but. Some may call this nitpicking, but there are some flaws that I think are worth mentioning. First, there's an imperfection in the steel of the blade. I'll try to show you that. It's right here. Maybe these are air pockets that happened during the sintering process of the steel, but I'm no expert on that. Considering the size and the positioning of those small bubbles, I'll take that as a minor blemish. Now let us look at the grind. It ends about 10 millimeters before the ricasso. That, in my opinion, is a waste of cutting edge and should be improved. Talking about cutting edge, the initial sharpness was moderate at best. I was really worried about getting the knife sharp, but with lots of patience and strokes on the Spyderco Sharp Maker, I eventually managed to get a satisfying edge which even shaves. Try to shave a little. But this too I'd like to see improved. Blade centering, well, it's not completely off, but it's not spot on either. However, I've seen other MSP Linerlocks with a perfect blade centering, so this is probably just bad luck from lock to lock. The locking bar locks way early when opening the knife slowly. I'm not sure how much force the blade could take before the lock disengages. When opening the blade with authority though, the locking bar stops later. So, my recommendation, always open the knife with authority just to make sure and to be cool. But maybe the lock just needs to be worked in. One more thing I'd like to see changed are the washers. Which are made of nylon or some other polymer. I've asked a local workshop for some bronze washers and I will try them out. Not there is any blade play whatsoever, but I figured the washers should match up with the other high quality materials used in this knife. Alright, that was a lot of complaining, but my general opinion about this knife still is positive. First of all, I am always happy to support the local knife industry. Then of course you get very high quality materials and good ergonomics for a very reasonable price. And on top of this, this thing is legal to carry around here. To be honest, I am seriously considering buying another one, despite all the flaws I mentioned, which most likely and hopefully won't limit its application. So that's it for today, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos, and if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to put out videos on a regular basis. Thanks again and see you around.